Ever since the first days of our country, it has been necessary at times to use the military to do the dangerous work of protecting our lands and freedoms. Sometimes it has been necessary to send our soldiers to foreign countries to help other people protect their freedoms and lands also. World War I, which began in 1914, is an example. More than 4 million American soldiers fought overseas in that conflict. An agreement to stop the fighting, an armistice, was signed in 1918 at 11 o'clock in the morning on the 11th day of the 11th month, November. After the armistice was signed, there were many celebrations in the United States and in many other countries. 1 year later, in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., President Woodrow Wilson declared that November 11th would be called Armistice Day, to honor all the war's veterans and to remember the many sacrifices they made on the battlefield. The holiday was celebrated every year after that, although it didn't become an official federal holiday until 1938. By that time, everyone hoped that wars among nations would be a thing of the past. But in 1939, another and even worse world war began far away on the continent of Europe. Within several years, American soldiers left their families, homes, and jobs to fight in distant places. The men and women who fought for the United States in World War II made many sacrifices so that we Americans could live in freedom and safety in our homes and communities. Finally, in 1945, a peace agreement was signed, and the troops came home. The United States and its friends won the war and celebrated. But another conflict began 5 years later in Korea, a country on the continent of Asia. Once more, our country's men and women in uniform found themselves far from home, far from their loved ones. Once again, they faced many hardships to help the world be a better, safer place. When the fighting came to an end in 1953, President Dwight Eisenhower changed the name of Armistice Day to Veterans Day to honor all veterans, not just those who had served in World War I.